I keep having this recurring dream where I wave my hand over the top of the deck and the card keeps changing and changing. I've thought about it. I've thought about it and I've thought about it. And then one day, I actually made it true. Here is a day in the life of me. I wake up in the morning around 6, stop the alarm clock, take a very quick shower, brush the teeth, clothe the body, get some food, and ultimately go to work. Work is pretty much the same every day. You see, the color change is pretty straightforward. You have a card turn face up on the deck, and then with just a simple stroke, the card changes. And it goes on like this until 3 or 4 o'clock when we wrap it up and call it a day. This is my favorite part of the day. I check out some events, drive with the car to the nearest bar, get some tea, play some darts, read a magazine, take the car to another place, touch a book, do some drawing, listen to some good music, open a lot of doors in the process, finally take the car back home, do some writing, do the laundry, play with the monkey, touch the rope, play with the fishy, finally close the door and call it a day. This is the handshake palm. Basically what you're doing is you're palming the bottom card of the deck as you're moving your hand forwards, shaking somebody's hand. And in that motion you're palming the bottom card. Hey guys, so I'm going to show you a false overhand shuffle. I've arranged the deck into black and red cards. And the overhand shuffle looks like this. You just... sorry, I gotta pick this up. Just a second. Yo man, what's up?
Yo man, I just got home. And I found my Yeezys. They're full of mud. Again. Who took them, man? Did you take them?
No.
Oh.
Yo, wait. I think Gisha's on. Wait, just a second. Yeah. What's up, man?
Yo, Baze!
Dude, you're the only person that could have touched my sneakers!
Andre, what's wrong with you?
Dude, did you touch my fucking sneakers?
I didn't touch your spaghetti!
This is no time for joke. Those sneakers, man, they feature a mix of suede, mesh, adipron foam and more, man. I paid them $60, man, for them.
Guys,
what the
no,
fuck,
I'm actually filming. Yeah, I'm gonna close. Yeah, I'm gonna close. Bye.
Biz?
I'm sorry about that. Yeah, but you pretty much saw the overhand shuffle looks like, and the entire deck is kept in its order, just like that. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Hope you enjoyed that. Have a great day. This is Eleanor and this is Bartho. These two are tied together by a green thread, which means whatever one does influences the other. Like for example, if Eleanor chooses the grey dress instead of the blue one, Bartho then spreads the deck. If she decides not to get something from the store, a black card is then chosen. The card is placed in the middle of the deck if she decides to move slow up the stairs instead of rushing. The card gets squared up in the center of the deck only if she decides to clean up. Bartho cuts the deck if Eleanor decides to have a cigarette while she's working. The deck is shuffled face up into face down only if Eleanor chooses to have mineral water instead of green tea. If Eleanor makes a mess out of her purse while she's searching for her keys, then the shuffle is completed. If she decides not to have a smoke, then Bartho might fumble a bit as he cuts the deck. If she chooses fruits instead of sugar, Bartho will snap instead of waving over the deck. And Bartho can only finish his effect when she talks with him, because she is his selection. Cheesy! So let's say I want to force the Queen of Hearts. and I'm spreading the deck and somebody picks out a card, and it's not the queen, it's the ace of clubs. You know, you're right over here, and you take the card and it is the queen. That's one way to do it. The other way to do it is you have it over there, somebody spreads the deck, it's not the queen. You spread the rest of the deck and you come here, and you place it on top, and it's their selection. I mean, it's the queen you wanted to force.
Baby, like, oh, how'd you do the thing? The way that you do it, she ain't even show nothing. She be walking like.
It's pretentious, you know, like that kind of. I'm not sure if she is faking it or she's truly fucking different. I talked to her about. I talked.
Spade points a card, let's say it's this one, you leave it over there on the table, and I know it's the 7 of hearts. Boom! Bada bing, bada boom. Somebody touch a card from the deck, let's say for example this one, and they remember it, and I know just like that is the Joker. Yeah, boy! So let me show you how the peak looks like. You have a card selected from the deck, Spade takes a look at it, you put it in your mouth. Let's say there's an object over there on the table and you gotta pick it up. You go, you pick it up. And in that motion, I pick at the card and I know it's the 7 of diamonds, and it all happens in the mouth, like you're looking at it, you're looking at the card that's in your mouth, and that's how the peak looks like. So a card is stopped at while the magician riffles, and then you turn the deck, and just like that, I know it's the King of Diamonds, the card they have selected. King of Diamonds! Bam! So this is how to throw more cards one by one, if you were to have more in your hand. Grip them like this, then you can just, you know, you can load them from there, like from here. Just like that. So I'm gonna force the Queen of Hearts, right? And somebody touches the card from the deck, or I just put the card in my mouth, and it looks like I'm putting it in my mouth, but I'm putting the top cards, you know. This. Oh.
The bag and fumbling, I get the bag and flip it and tumbling. Straight up a lot, 300 cash, and the car came with a blood in it. The mama a that, and she got ass, and she gon' fuck up a bag. Pull up to the spot, living too fast.
Pink flowers grow from my skin. Baptismal veins and
Imagine all these cards are students, and this is you. And this is your first day in class. You're trying to find a nice place to sit, and you find yourself one right there next to Tim and Bob. But then you decide, not really, because Tim and Bob won't really tell you, like during tests, won't really help you. So you're shuffling to class, and then you ultimately decide to go to the bottom of the class, because that's very far away from the teacher, and you might get in someone else. Yeah, good grades, boy, good grades. So this is the full false overhand shuffle. It looks like this. And if you want to do it face up and make it look good, sorry. If you want to do it face up and make it look good, you displace the top card on the bottom, and this way it looks as if you actually shuffle the entire deck, but you just move the top card to the bottom. And while you're shuffling, you can even stop and talk, then come back and finish the shuffle. You still have the entire deck retained. You can stop with your right hand or left hand and talk, and then continue the shuffle. And yeah, that's pretty much it. That's how it looks from this angle, like this. And from here. And from here. You see? Boom. So you have a normal deck over here, and I'm going to take half of it face up and half face down and shuffle it into each other, just like this. Then we're going to square the cards up, watch to watch. Now, it may appear as if it is shuffled right now, but it is not that these cards make it to be shuffled. It is that your perception of what you've seen is what makes it shuffled. So all I have to do is change that perception by twisting these cards and covering them with my hands, and now you think I did something I did because all of them are straightened up. What? So let's say I want to force the 7 of spades, and I cut the deck, I get a card from the middle, and bam, 7 of spades from the top. The card you want to force is the 5 of hearts. You're cutting the deck, and then you're getting a card from the middle, and it's this 5 of hearts. So you have a card selected from the deck, for example the 8 of clubs, and you're leaving that in the center, while completely maintaining the 8 of clubs on top. Turn. Bam. I'm so happy I really have somebody that eats my food, and it's so good that
I got a teeny bitty DvD card here which I can vanish, take from the ear and then just throw back in the shit.
Dacă e spațiul ăsta. Wow, ce tare că am descoperit asta! E scurci.
Nici nu m-am gândit la față, i-am făcut pe acolo.
Știu că nu te-ai gândit la față, e vede. Îmi place unui foarte.
Așa. Fii la pausa.
Wow, aici sunt. Vrei să-mi pui imaginea.
Asta?
So this switch can be used, for example, during a sandwich. Let's say, for example, you have the spectator selection palm in your hand, and on top of the deck you have the 2 kings. So you're going to see something like, you see the kings vanish first, and then they appear back, but this time when they appear, they have a card in between each other. So this is the perfect palm used in combination with the cardini. You perform the cardini, and then you steal the card and drop it back on top of the deck. So I have a card selected from the deck, and remember, and the idea is that with just a simple wave over the deck, you can steal the card from the middle and produce it from whatever, or drop it back on top, or use it as vanish. So let's say I would like to force the second card from the top, the 5 of spades. I'll basically just cut the deck in the middle of the packet, and then the 5 of spades would be at that point. So somebody picks out a card from the deck, let's say this one, and they remember it, and you leave that card somewhere in the center of the deck. And just like that, you're controlling the card second to the top. And you can perform a double and show that it's on top, but the point is that you control it second to the top through the action of showing that it is in the center. Let's say you would like, instead of forcing the second card to the top, you would like to force the bottom card and make it look as if it's from the center. Basically what you would do is you would cut the deck, and it would look as if it comes from the center of the deck, the 10 of spades. Now this is more of an idea for an application than it is something already defined. For example, let's say you would have a card inserted towards the top of the deck, you know, and you would say, there's not many cards on the top of the deck, but you see if I just riffle them, the card goes lower in the deck, as if the heaviness of the top of the deck is pushing it down. And it's not that the heaviness is really that much, it's just like 20 cards, but when you put it on top, that's when it happens and the card really goes down, see, almost to the bottom of the deck. So it's a way of relocating cards in the deck and moving an out card, making it appear as if it's melting through the deck. Spectator tears a card from the deck, and there's nothing unusual about this. The spectator then watches how the magician takes the same card, places it in the center of the deck. Still nothing unusual about this. The magician then takes half of the deck and twists it face up without saying anything. And the spectator wants to raise their hand and ask something, but the magician shows everything is legit and they're being shuffled together. At this point, the spectator is a bit confused because he doesn't really know if this is supposed to be part of the plan. The magician says in this way, the universe works in such a way in which he shows you, it shows you, the beginning, the middle and the end without saying anything. And then in time it allows you to unsew the fabric of magic from which the event itself has been made. Whereas the spectator is left wondering about what it has seen, he soon realizes that it is but just a riddle and not an act of magic that he has been left with, and was not there to be entertained, but rather to be... So let's say you have the 4 aces on top of the deck. You want to make it look as if they come from the middle of the packet as you're cutting the deck in different parts of the deck. You're covering this motion with a pattern. You're motivating this motion with a pattern. You're talking about how you're really searching for 4 artists throughout the city to come and help you for your show. And you went, first one you went at a circus, the other one was in a bar you found, the other one you found in a school, and the last one you found in your childhood neighborhood. And then you show that these cards, you know, they came from 4 different places in the deck. This is all using the one card pass.
N-au mulți prieteni pe Facebook. La noi vezi la români în pula mea. Tu ai cât ai? Ai 2000 de prieteni pe Facebook, nu?
So we have a card selected from the deck, for example, this one, and we leave it in the center. And we can move the deck from right to left. The magician can really handle himself. And in that process, and then you can go inside your coat and pick the card up because you've palmed it. And you can do the same thing, but differently, obviously. You can move the card from right to left here. And then while you're stealing the card, you can take the bottom card and show it. Then turn it face up, and it turns in their selection. Or you can perform the same steal, but instead of taking the bottom card, you take the top card. That's how it was. Yeah, you take the top card, and you turn it like this, and the card is second from the top, their selection. So yeah, 1 out of 2, 1 out of 3. So the card that is palmed is the King of Clubs from the bottom. You're moving the deck from right hand to left, and you're pushing it forward. And you see the card is palmed underneath. You can do that one more time. When you're placing the cards like this, you tell them to shuffle the deck, and you palm that card in the process. This can also be used as a color change. We have the 8 of clubs on top, then with just a nice little wave, you see the card changes. The card that is being palmed is the bottom card, the 5 of hearts. You're just turning the deck face down, and in the process you're keeping the card palmed in your right hand, 5 of hearts. So the card that is palmed is the 7 of diamonds from the bottom, and you're asking the spade to hold their hand out. You give them the deck, and in that process you clip palm the bottom card one-handedly.
Seara și mâncam. Și am mâncat și se puseseră niște băieți lângă noi.
Bottom card is the 5 of hearts. You're telling the spectator you're just going to peek at the bottom card to see what it is, and in that motion you're palming the 5 of hearts. This is a way to control the position at which somebody touches the card. Somebody touches the card so as they touch this one. And just like that I can close the fan, and I can instantly get a pinky break above where their selection is. So somebody touches a card from the fan, and let's say they touch the 10 of diamonds, and the 10 of diamonds is left in the center, and in that motion you're tenkai palming the card from the middle. So the spectator names a card from what they can see. Let's say they name the ace of clubs, and it usually takes about 4 seconds for the ace to disappear from the fan, and then you can do whatever because you've palmed the card in Tenkai. So you found the deck, spectator names the card, let's say the 8 of clubs, and then you square it, and you can show that the 8 is the only one that has been left outjogged. Then you can snap your fingers and it changes to the 4. So the card that is palmed here is the bottom card, the Ace of Spades. You're doing the under pressure flourish, and in that motion you're bottom palming the card. The card that is palmed is the top card, in this case the King of Diamonds. It takes about 4 seconds for the card to go in the air, behind my palm, into back palm. So close. From the deck, for example, the 7, and you see the 7 is going to take just about 4 seconds until it goes in the air and you can catch it.
Ce vrei să faci cu viața ta? Ce vrei să faci cu viața ta?
So it's with the bottom card, the 6, and you're heading to shake that person's hand, and in the motion you're palming the card. So we have the 6 of spades, and I'm going to leave this in the center. Okay? I'm going to palm it. As I come back with just a wave, you see that the 6 of spades is palmed in the hand. So I'm going to riffle through these princesses, and I want you to remember one. Okay? So just call out stop, and they call out stop and remember that princess. And we leave the princess back into the center. Loser. Now, I want you to forget that these are princesses. Imagine that all of these cards are bricks, and together they're going to form a tower. A tower from which we're going to save your princess. So basically you're Mario, I'm Luigi. This is the tower from which we're going to save the princess. We got to do this. So just like in the game, there's a lot of traps inside the castle. There's ghosts, there's exploding bricks, there's Bowser hiding somewhere over there. So we're not going to go in the castle. What I want you to do is to take a bomb. I want you to take a bomb and throw it at the castle. Explode castle, and we save princess. What do you say? The spectator takes the bomb and throws it at the castle. And then the entire castle is crumbled to pieces except for one single card. Their princess. The card is selected from the deck, like the two. The magician spreads the deck. The spectator places their card somewhere. Now, I'm going to spread the deck once more on top of the card, so I'm not able to see the position of the card in any way. Then I can close this, and give the deck a couple of cuts. And like that, you know the position of the card and you can control it to the top. The palm looks like this. You have the 10 of diamonds on the bottom of the deck, and because of all the pressure from the other cards, the 10 of diamonds always feels as if it needs to get away and relax for a bit.